Hi, my name is Rosemary Westling, and I would like to tell you how my passion for food allowed me to travel for 10 years. I grew up in a rural area where we hunted and fished and had a big garden, so I spent a lot of time thinking about food. So it's not surprising that instead of college, I decided to go to cooking school in Paris, France. I spent a year at La Varenne École de Cuisine learning classical French techniques and recipes. Within days of leaving Paris, I found a job working on a yacht heading up the Tennessee Tombigbee Waterway towards Chicago. We delivered the boat to Lake Michigan, and then I headed south to New Orleans, where I trained with some excellent Cajun chefs who taught me the secrets of gumbo and étouffée. From there, I went to the East Coast, Maine to Miami, where I cooked just about anything that came from the sea. I learned recipes from the Portuguese in New Bedford, Massachusetts, from the fancy in the New York Yacht Club on Long Island, and from the exquisitely fresh Caribbean seafood recipes. I spent several years on the East Coast and then decided to set sail for Vancouver, Canada, and the Pacific Northwest. The Pacific Northwest is one of the most beautiful places on earth with fresh produce and seafood. We would catch a big fat salmon in the afternoon and have it all ready for dinner at night. We literally harvested buckets of blackberries. I caught Dungeness crabs in traps that I baited with chicken wings, which I thought was a great trade. When the summer was over, we headed south to Mexico, vowing not to drink the water and to wash our vegetables thoroughly. We practiced our Spanish and watched the whales on our trip south. No sooner had we cleared customs than we found ourselves in a cantina drinking frozen margaritas and eating salsa and chips. I purchased fish from fishermen right on the beach, and oftentimes I didn't know what exactly I was getting, but I thought a clam is a clam and a fish is a fish, and so the basic cooking techniques are the same. We departed Cabo San Lucas in Mexico in the springtime and headed towards Hawaii. Every morning on the boat I fished and usually caught tuna, which I immediately turned into sushi. It took 19 days out of sight of land and a couple of terrible storms, which I was sure I would end up in Davy Jones's locker. We finally made it to Hilo, Hawaii, cleared customs, and all binged out on burgers and pizza. After Hawaii, I had the opportunity to work in Spain, Italy, and France. I spent a wonderful summer visiting all the great places in the Mediterranean. Returning to the United States, I worked at a plantation for the hunting season in Georgia. Every meal was some kind of wild game: quail, duck, venison, hog, gator, and even bear. Traditionally, breakfasts in agricultural areas are huge. Thick-cut bacon, homemade sausage, homemade biscuits, jam, fruit, eggs, coffee, the whole 9 yards. Luncheon, as they called it, at the River Cottage would usually be venison and perhaps some Bloody Marys or some sherry. Cocktails at 7, dinner at 8, jacket, no tie. It was all very posh. Sunday brunch included one of my favorite meals, a Dove souffle with caramelized onions, polenta, and Parmesan cheese. My last culinary adventure took me skiing in the mountains of Utah and to Wyoming for the spring cattle roundup and the fall branding. Also, elk hunting. Recently, I completed the plant-based nutrition course, the certificate course on plant-based nutrition at Cornell University online. While cooking and traveling occupied my life for about 10 years, when it became time to settle down, I chose Florida. Florida had always been my home base, and the weather's great. I have been looking for an opportunity to share my cooking skills and help people learn about a healthy diet. I hope to work with KitchenCraft Cookware on a new and profitable adventure. Thank you very much.